making sure they're learning as they go?
Yeah, you can get excited about the players that we have, which I am excited about. My focus doesn't veer too far from about the hour in front of me most of the time. We try to make sure that our players feel the same way. There's potential doesn't really mean much. You still got to go prove it. You got to earn it, and I think our guys are up to that task. But I don't spend too much time thinking about much other than what can we do better tomorrow than today. I think that's a pretty safe space to live in for me. And that kind of goes with the whole part of the job, everything around it. So I'm aware that we have a chance to be a good offense. I believe in that, but I also don't get too far ahead of myself. We got a lot of work to do between now and September, and a lot of things we got to get better at. So that's the best way to say it.
Brian, I know you
start with this, with what you're asking him on a per play basis. You know, what is this progression ask? What is he supposed to do with his footwork? Where are his eyes supposed to be? We're teaching the system first, and then as you get into situations like today being a third down day, you get the chance to look back and say, well, hey, this was a 3rd and 4 decision. You know, could you have made a different one? The ball got out quicker. We don't need to hold on to it in this particular instance. So there's a lot of coaching of the situations that go within teaching of the system. And so where we're at in our process now is more about teaching the system and what's expected. And then you add the situational layers as you get more comfortable with the install. So we're about done with the installation part of the offense, and now it becomes more of a memory and recall, and we start to pair a lot more things together. So it's coming together at this point, and then by training camp, we should be ready to roll, and guys should know what to do and how to do it.
Brian, do you walk a fine line?
I'll probably give an opinion if it's a little more imminent than it is currently. You know, right now, if that changes next year, we can have those conversations. I know logically with how you ramp up in the training camp. So I understand where they're coming from, and I get the desire to kind of push things more towards training camp and less taking a big break in between. I personally very much enjoy that break. I need it this year, so thankfully it's not going away this year for me. But I get it. I understand what they're looking for, and there's probably a place for that conversation. So as it gets closer and there's a more legitimate proposal that we get thrown out there, then we'll see.
We've had a few weeks now.
The thing that we thought he would be. It's always exciting when you sign a guy in free agency and you hope, but you don't always know. You go by what you hear, what you see. And it's always good when the guy gets in the building and you see he's everything that you would expect him to be. He's a great pro. He's a phenomenal person to be around. He's incredibly talented. You see his speed and his burst when you watch him on the field. I think he's really going to help us. And he's a pro's pro. He prepares. He works hard. He loves playing football, and those are the things you hope for when you sign free agents. And he's lived up to every one of those things for us so far. And again, a lot of work to go, but I've been really, really happy with him.
Out there just as a pro?
Yeah, he doesn't carry himself like a rookie, which is always a good thing. He's very intentional about his work. He works really hard. He spends a lot of time on this. I think he understands, which not all rookies understand, that it is a job. And there's an expectation, especially when you're drafted where he was drafted, that you got to come perform. And I think that he's aware of that. Not everybody always is. And, he's got some maturity to him, but he also has a youthful wonder that's kind of fun to be around. Everything's new to him. You know, there's just a lot, and he just loves playing football. And so there's this kind of enthusiasm that he carries with him around the field that I think is fantastic. And he's getting better with the techniques. You know, I think it's going to be really fun to see where he ends up between now and the next couple of weeks, and then when training camp starts, when the pads come on, we're going to find out a whole lot about a lot of people when training camp starts. So I think he's making the right progress, but I think as you guys talk to him too, you enjoy his personality. He's made the right stuff, and he works really hard. So those two things are a good start for him.
How much does the physicality